There we are. Hello, everybody, and a mighty fine good day to everyone out there. I had a Windows update, so my microphone was muted. You know the deal. And we are starting out with a new series of Dyson Sphere program today. This is going to be a very beginner-friendly project, so if you are looking for some chill experience, hop on in. I'm also going to start out here the new gameplay directly at the beginning of the stream, so if you guys want to see which cluster seed I'm playing, you can check it out here, so can put that later into the description as well. And I'm just going to leave it as it is. It's going to be my first real Dyson Sphere in this series, and this is my third start for myself in this series. First, I died from underscoping, then I died from expecting a new update soon. And now that I know that the combat update, which looks extremely well designed, is not going to happen before 2023, I decided to go for 3 times a charm and build my first Dyson Sphere with you folks together. So here we get a epic intro to our new planet. Actually, let's see. Is it going to be Murga? Yeah, I think so. And yeah, I'm going to explain as much as I can along the way and have some fun while trying to get myself as quick as possible through the early stages of the game, because, you know, I want to see how much I can utilize my previous game knowledge so far, and all the knowledge that I got from my previous Factorio gameplays and the like. And by the way, it's Factory Thursday on my channel. Why not Factory Friday? Because I think by now it's it's because of one of my dearest viewers doesn't have time on Friday, so it went to Factory Thursday, and it'll stay like that. Also, everybody else will have a Factory Friday, so you guys can have factory games on both days. Anywho, I'm just waiting until my pod is landing here. This is going to be our new Mediterranean shelter. You always get these Mediterranean planets at the beginning, eh? Well, we're going to see what we got there. So, hello world, the Icarus has landed. Okay, so first things first, I don't need these tutorials, thank you. I need trees for my mecha belly. And then we're going to check on out where we got some resources to tinker with. I see some iron veins around me. That's good. So what did I need again for the beginner technologies? Electromagnetism unlocks me wind turbines. And upgrade-wise, I need the blue ones and plates for more core energy. Well, the very first thing will be then a couple of magnetic coils, alrighty. But very first things first, I need energy. Alright, so let's see. If I remember correctly, I have to craft a couple of techs manually here. It's been like a... That's been how I remember it is. So let's make the 10 iron plates happen we need for that. Oh, I'm wrong about that. I don't need iron ingots, I need magnets. Whoopsie. Whatever. It's not going to be that much of an issue. So, do I have any buildings available? No. Just that stuff here. So, where is the copper I need? Oh, there it is. Can I? Well, I can't fly. Whoa. Alright. We have to research these things first. So... let's see. Don't I have this metadata stuff? Let's see. Buy out technology. Yep. Bam. My previous gameplays allowed me to unlock technologies right from the get-go. Isn't that nice? So... interesting. Can I skip these all with metadata? Ah, it just gets paid with blue metadata. Awesome. Yeah, cool. So... very, very cool stuff. That speeds up things quite tremendously. So what do I want to have automated first? I think metallurgy. Oh, I can't buy out that. That would be 40 blue. Okay. Alright, we'll be getting there. That's already been a pretty nice help here. I love this mechanics. Like now you get these rewards for previous gameplays. This way it's going to be quite easy to get faster the more often you play the game. I really appreciate that. This was very rewarding when you go for several playthroughs. So, now the confusion will lift soon. I'm needing these 10 of them. Thank you. I can craft only 6 of them. What a pity. But I think these come in double packs. So, well, what can I produce building-wise now? Wind turbines. Okay. Mining machine. Do I have a mining machine? I do have a mining machine. Awesome. So I don't have to do the mining manually. And I have a wind power. Okay, I have a little bit of power generation already. Nice. Okay. Then... yeah, let's put that on top of this small thing here. So we're going to deplete this. Deposit first. So here we go. First, the wind power. So this thing here now is producing iron ore for me automatically, which is already a pretty big step forward, because now I don't need to carve this stuff with my robo hands out of the earth, you know. Progress. Okay, but I still need more of these suckers, which requires me to carve out copper with my bare robo hands. Yeah. We're not going to be working like that much longer. I want to get smelting going as quick as possible, because it really sucks to have to do that all manually. So now I have automatic metallurgy. Awesome. So now I can bring these up, but I still need to carry these things around, because I don't have any belts yet. But we get in there. So my first smelters. Oh, I get 3 of them even. Oh, cool. So, yeah, my first smelters will be sitting here in the wild. And we're going to configure them like that. Dropping them all into the vicinity of my wind turbines. Pretty sure that the wind turbine is not able to provide enough power for 3 smelters, but it's okay. It's okay. So, let's put in some of the iron ore here. Well, doesn't it? Here, Control-click does work here too. And, yeah. All of a sudden, the power is not sufficient anymore. Who would have known? We're starting on it. But it's a big help to have these things automatically crafted now. So, before I do more sciencing, I think I should do more wind powering, because that's right now really the biggest bottleneck here. Don't like the fact that my automated processes are not even working out here. So more wind power it is. Let's see. Because this is way, way faster than doing it manually, you know. So, I need another mining machine. That'll require tons of iron. That's fine. And here, I'm lacking copper? Or more iron? It's like I'm lacking a bit of copper. I really want to get down a mining machine on the copper veins here as well. I mean, sure, this is just us starting out, getting the very, very outright basics down, but, you know, have to get the basics down sometime as well. So, let's see. We're going to make the wind power generation here. And since I got supplied generously by 1 Tesla tower, I'll be able to provide power to this spot here as well. And my fuel chamber is empty, so let's do something against that. So, put some nature in the oven. Alright. These are super small scale deposits. You pretty much always start right next to a couple of these. Because the game does care for you, you know? It wants you to have a nice start. Actually, I do appreciate it that there are these mechanics working for the game. Because this means that you're always seeing what you need around yourself. Which is extremely nice for beginners. And also for experienced players that are coming back. And if there's anything regarding mechanics or such in this game, please ask away. I love to answer questions. So I can now see the planet's vein distribution. I unlocked that with prefabricated technology. This is very cool because now I have access to the location of all the stuff here. So I can now see where all the materials are living at on this planet. And this helps out a lot in terms of fort planning. Usually you need to craft yourself blue science cubes. Come from Factorio, that's the first unit of, the first currency of technology in this game. Just like the red science bottle. So, let's craft ourselves the circuit boards we need for the manual research, and then I even have access to belts and the like. Isn't it awesome? That also means that I want to move away the smelters like I have them here. So they're going to move. I just did that so I have less handcrafting on me. Alright, basic logistics systems. Hey Ash, so happy to see you. Did you see the new trailer for the Dyson Sphere Program combat system? If not, you should really look at it. I'm going to post it later on the Discord as well. It's looking sick. Like, I'm so impressed of what they are coming up with that I totally forgive them to take longer than I want them to take. It's really cool. No, you didn't? Well, I don't want to spoil you with anything. Just lean back and enjoy the show at least for once. It's really awesome. They did a great job there. I'm really looking forward to that. Because for one, it's going to be completely different than the combat in Factorio. Because your enemy will build factories as well against you. And it's basically a war that you're going to fight. And you're going to have to build factories for defense and the like as well. This is something I'm really looking forward to, and yeah. So wait, let's dismantle what we got here because I have now access to better thingies. So basic assembling process. Let's do this as well because these are just the fundamentals of technology. We need that. Yeah, it's awesome. It's like the idea of battling against the rogue AI hive is amazing. Like that's the best villain that I've seen in a factory game since a long time, and they implemented with a lot of flair. And that's just the early footage, you know. They want to improve on what we were seeing there. I totally fell in love with it as well when I saw it. And obviously you are as well, Ash. It's, that's why I figured I want to start a new playthrough of Dyson Sphere Program, learn my way around, be a pro, something like that. Be a little bit more professional, I wanted to say, around building factories in this game, and come back stronger when combat hits town. You know, totally down for that. Okay, just planting up some more wind turbines, because, you know, since I now have access to automation of sorts, you know, I'm now able to transport the ores via belts. That's going to be a big step forward. I need more power. I can already foresee that I'll need more power. Need foundation support, and wind power is a pretty terrain hungry little thing. But at least we got what now? 2.1 megawatt in the grid. That's a start, isn't it? Speaking about what's in the grid, I need coal. I need a coal miner as quick as possible. And the best part about the new update is that it's going to be completely optional. If you don't want to have that combat system, you don't need to have it. I deeply respect that design philosophy. Like, okay, if this ain't your cup of tea, just turn it off. You know. There's also a peaceful mode, similar to what we know from Factorio, where the enemy only attacks you if you attack it. So, really, good stuff. Right from the scratch. Right from the scratch, good stuff. I really appreciate that. So, energy circuit. Not able to build the energetic graphite that this would require. Drive engine unlocks mecha flight. Yes, please. This is a very, very fundamental, basic technology that puts a lot of fun into the fundamentals, because flying is just amazing. Okay, let's belt down that stuff. Yay! My first conveyor belt. By now, I'm going as far as saying that Dyson Sphere Program is, for me, the best game that comes from the Chinese market so far. I'm really amazed that these guys get it all done properly. Like, I've played my fair share of Chinese games in the last couple of years, gotta say. And this one does it really well. So, I'm doing 2 smelters for ingots and 1 for magnets so far. We're going to need other methods of managing these things in the near future, but for the starters, this is just great. I can come here, grab my building materials that I need, and start producing, you know. And we're going to go for another one of these guys. Oh yeah, we need stone for that. So the next goal is going to be set up coal mine, because coal is going to be the next better fuel. I want to stop burning these trees constantly, because it's just very inefficient fuel generation. Very, very, very inefficient, you know. So let's see. Can I belt down enough for another furnace? Is this enough? Will this suffice? We'll see. Quite positive. Yeah. Here again, I'm setting up only a very, very small grid, because I know that this will be outdated in no time. But for now, it's just what'll provide me the building materials that I need for further progression. Here we go. All the pre-crafts get done so much faster this way. Good. Now, what next? I need a mining machine, right? Right. And with the mining machine... Oh, I also happen to need a couple of conveyor belts. So, definitely craft myself a handful of these as well. And I want a couple of Tesla towers, because, you know, these are basically your power poles. And I can now build a matrix lab, thanks for reminding me, but not yet. So, I'll need stone as well, but, there's the coal vein I was looking for. So coal is just the best early game fuel I know of. Maybe there are better options that I don't know of, but somebody would have to show me those first. So, my handcrafting procedure. Here goes the Tesla towers I ordered. Here go the Tesla towers I ordered. Here goes my grammar, by the way. And see it dive out of the window. Alright, we got coal. Yeah, it's getting consumed by the manual research immediately. So... Okay, we're going to kill some more vegetation first, before this tech is down. Very soon, TM, I'm going to refine these... I'm going to refine the coal as well for the sake of energy efficiency. Alpha Dash, hi there. Have fun, Ash. Yeah, well, space exploration will be later today as well, and I feel you, man. This is a real big task. Space exploration mod is a biggie, and well, I still don't know if I made a mistake by playing it with Prestorio or not. But well, okay, I think I'm pretty sure that it was a great decision to play it with Prestorio, because Prestorio has just so many cool things you can work with. Would be ashamed to not have them. So, coal. For all those who are interested, coal has much more energy output or energy capacity than plant fuel or wood. So, this is going to be what we're using from now on until I can refine that stuff. So. I've never heard of Splaton, but glad you enjoy it. Okay, so next step, I need stone. So we're going to do the same thing that I did before, just build up a mining machine, and well, automation will be happening soon. I already can foresee it. So up here are the stone veins. I know that I can't build a matrix slab. Please leave me alone. You know, with science, you shouldn't rush things. Science takes time and planning. Alright, let's go for a mining machine for stone. At the very beginning of the game, you don't need stone that much, but you're going to need a lot of it later down the road. So here's a 9 node access point. I like that one. And let's just make a energy connection happen here. Alright. So let's put these a bit on a conveyor belt, and that's that. Here we go. So this will be the stone that I need for the time being. I'm going to pick up a couple of these rocks. Not that I need them that desperately right now, but we will need them. Okay, so next thing that I want to do is I want to put me up some assembling machines. So we won't be doing real automation as of yet, because, you know, I'll just set up a little bit of a park that I am going to feed with the materials it'll require, or much more set it up to produce the materials that are required. So we're going to do as follows. Yeah, so conveyor belt going down this road. Just want to produce a handful of very, very basic things for me. Here, all the things I do, I mostly do now to speed up my progression. So, drive engine. I have unlocked Mecha Flight. Awesome. And here goes the magnets. Yeah, thanks. I know how to fly. But I appreciate the gesture. Alright. Goes another output. Okay, so what next? I want those thingies here as well. And how do we make these? Yeah, with gears. Yeah. So this is, for example, one of my favorite very, very early automations. Making a machine that produces belts for me. Because, you know, belts are just such a omnipresent need in every factory that it's just a pain to craft them all manually, you know. That's why we're doing a couple of things now automatically. So, one inserter picking up this. We're feeding this machine now the iron plates it needs. Shift left click to just copy the machine. It's a pretty nifty thing, but you have to see you copy it entirely, as you see there. I've made another iron gear wheel machine, which I don't want to, so we're going to press here, delete that. But that's not really a biggie. So here we have now the conveyor belt machine. I am going to need that this machine puts its gears into this machine. You can do that as well with the sorters. And I'm needing... Oh. Ran out of copper. So... Later down the road, I'll have all these things automated, produced for me. So, hey, Demo Boy. No, I didn't see that Factorio will come to Switch, but I think it's a great choice. This will open up the game to a lot of people that didn't have access to it yet. I really like things like these. So here we go. We have now an automated production of these. Do I already have storage containers? I don't think so. Oh, I do! I do! Awesome. Let's make ourselves one then. Because this is, you know, storing a couple of belts for later usage is just... I think I don't need to talk much about that. But we're going to We're going to open only up the capacity for 2 stacks, so we don't eat up an endless amount of resources here. Okay, so with those belts being made, let's check out the basics of technology. Right, welcome, so happy to see you. Alright, now, first things first, we're going to build us a couple of matrix labs. Matrix labs need glass, that's a material that we don't have automated yet. Just make it out of stone. It's no biggie. So, for starters, I'm going to make myself a lab that's going to be not automated. Because I did that several times in the past, that I started out with an automated lab, and I totally regretted it. Because I underscoped the thing so massively that... I had then a lab at a point which was very unfortunate because I mindlessly built my science production somewhere. And before I knew what I was doing, I had a pretty big infrastructure around it, and it would have been a lot of work to dismantle it, and then it stayed, and I regretted that decision. So what I do here instead, I have one matrix lab producing the cubes and one matrix lab consuming the cubes, and these now need magnetic coils and circuit boards. So what I'm going to do here is a quite simple thing. I'm going to pipe out the handful of copper plates that I make into this direction. Hey Janer, welcome. So happy to see you folks. Glad you join on in. So after the big announcement of the new combat system happening at 2023, I decided to do a new Dyson sphere playthrough for real. This time I want to tackle the sphere, you know. I always gave up before I managed to build a Dyson sphere, and this time I really wanted to. So we need magnetic coils and circuit boards. As you see here, the circuit boards need copper and iron. and these need magnets and copper, so we're going to rewire that. And in this way. And this one has to be completely dismantled, but it's no biggie, because we're going to unpack it into this direction. And as you see here, now we're going to go up one level and down one level. There we go. Transporting that over a little bit of a bridge there. So, because this way, I'm going to be able to produce the materials I need quite easily. If it doesn't make sense now, it will make sense in a second. Just have to wait until these suckers are produced, so... That's also going to be a big step forward to have an automated availability of circuit boards and magnetic coils. Everything that makes my handcrafting go faster is very, very important at this stage of the game, because you don't want to be sitting around and handcrafting everything, you know. It just takes up too much of your precious time. The only resource which you can't automate and reproduce, you know. Take it like that. So let's build ourselves a couple of grabbers, and in this one we're going to make the circuit boards. So grabbing iron plates from here and copper plates from there, and that's the production. And then shift left click that thing. This is a spaghetti mess, okay? Don't do that at home. Just kidding. You can't do that, of course, at home, but be aware that systems like these have a very, very low maximum capacity. I only built that because I know that I'm going to need it not for a long period of time, and we're going to build something much, much larger soon. Here we go. So, circuit boards and the other stuff. I'm going to set up storage containers here as well. And there we go. So here again, the small storage container, or the small amounts in a storage container to help me out. And I'm limiting these again quite hard. The cool thing is if you shift-click copy something, you copy the entire settings, which is really cool. So here, I copied the entire limitations of the container right away. I just decided that I'm going to go for 2 stacks of these, because I know that 2 stacks of these certainly won't go bad. So we can finally science stuff, my men. Science is a big step forward. What do I want to science first? Let's see. These suckers here. It doesn't look like a much or a very, very interesting thing, but electric motors are a very, very omnipresent thing, and can upgrade my mech quite nicely with those. So, now we're just dropping these materials manually in here, not automatically, because that's just, you know, that's just too much for my scrubbiness. We are going to produce 2 more labs. Okay. So I'm going to talk about how these things work in detail in the future. Right now, it's enough to know that we're going to toss the circuits and the magnets into this machine here to keep it running, and that's really not much. So, Dyson sphere before stream over. I'm not that fast. So I'm just now slapping on another of these labs on top of each other. So now it'll produce doubly as fast. So, do these things have different, they have different containers? I wasn't aware of that. Okay, so we'll have to use a hotfix then. I didn't know that. This would be a problem if I didn't already know a pretty nice solution for that. So let's fly on over to our stone deposit. I just wanted to fly because flying is fun. First flight. The game even seconds that. And I'm going to craft myself another little storage container. There we go. And obviously, I can already compact these stones in a way. Okay, so storage will be... put one over here. Ah, well, whatever. Tried to copy the grabbers. And I don't seem to have any. They're called sorters, I'm sorry. So what I'm doing here is a simple thing. I'm just smacking a container here. It's going to feed these machines, because if something is put via a inserter, a grabber, whatever they call it, I'm here, sorter. If something is packed by a sorter into the basement, the machine distributes the stuff automatically upwards. If I put it manually in, obviously it doesn't. I didn't know that. But what also occurred here is that we're running low on power. Well, not a big surprise to me. Let's build a couple of wind turbines then. As much as I despise them, they are just the best source of power that I have right now. Pretty much the only one too. Which making the best source of power being a very, very relative term. We're going to put them down where... Yeah, let's do this here. So, I'm holding down the left mouse button now when I'm trying to put one down. So you see here, I'm holding down the left mouse button now and trying to see if I can put anything else into the vicinity, but no. I would need foundation support, and for foundation I need steel. Foundation is what the name would imply. It's a foundation for your stuff to stand on. Until I got access to these wonderful things, we're going to build our wind power where it does fit. Here we go. Just hit the mint game. Hell, yellow cubes after a week. Yeah, Eric, I feel you, man. I feel you. The game did this to me as well. I totally underestimated the options you got and the scope that you need to put up for these cubes in the future, you know. I did quit at the last color. Was it green? I'm not sure. Let me check. Last time I did throw the towel was when I was working myself to the production of gravity matrices. I totally underestimated what kind of behemoth you need to put up for the green cubes. They are really, really hard to put up. So, going to get through all these pains, Eric. You did well. You took it far. Don't hate yourself too much for building a factory that doesn't hit your satisfaction yet. So, smelting facility. I'm going to need a couple of arc smelters here as well. Do I have any? No. I want to refine the stone bricks right away, because it'll save me time yet again. Like I said, everything which saves you time is worth it. Yeah, Eric, this happens to a lot of us, and the problem is out there, when you look at the content creators for these games, the popular ones are just factory game gods, and it's hard to compare yourself to people like that have entire channels dedicated entirely to factory games. You know, these guys are way more specialized in this kind of game than myself too. You know, and that's why I like to do my series, because I consider myself always as a scrub with attitude, and I feel like this. My goal is always to show you guys that you're not alone with your pain, and games like these are very hard. And it's very important to find your own solutions, your own ways of dealing with these problems, and not just blindly imitating some methods that cracks came up with. Because you can, of course, do that if this satisfies you, but it doesn't satisfy me. Don't know how you guys see that. I always am most happy with the solution I came up myself with, you know. So, let's see, what do we science next? I have made the electromagnetic drive thingy. Great. I want better power production soon. So thermal power comes to mind. It's very cheap as well. Thermal power is just what is a more sophisticated wording for burn stuff to make power happen. We could go for steel smelting. That'll unlock a lot of things too. Foundation. Smelting purification. Oh yeah, I want that tech. I want access to energetic graphite as quick as possible. This is energetic graphite is a real big milestone for your mobility over the map. Because once you have that stuff, you're going to be able to go much further than ever before, because you have highly efficient fuel or starter. For starters, it's highly efficient. Okay, so I have a bit of science technology production going on here, and in the past I always automated these, and I totally regretted my decision there, you know. This I did automate such crap there, because, you know, your lab facility will be a hub that will be processing materials from all over the galaxy at some point, if you want to set up your lab right from the get-go to process all the colors. And since that's a pretty big thing, I'm rather setting up a small-scale lab now. Mistake of mine that I did in many of my other playthroughs in the past. Anthony, kind of sad the combat system got pushed back to 2023. Yeah, man, yeah. That's been my thought too, but didn't you think as well that what's been on the plate for the new update is looking so damn promising that I'm okay, that you're okay with it? It was for me like, okay guys, I might be really sad that you're delaying it, but oh my god, this looks so damn good, I want to play it. So I'm gonna give these guys the time it takes. I mean, Factorio did take a lot of time as well, so let's be patient, friends. Let's be patient. So, I'm smelting some glass, because here it's the same thing. These are not really on any belt. I just produced them to grab them for my personal use in handcrafting issues, so I don't have to handcraft every single step anymore, you know? These things do help a lot. And here, I'll just keep feeding the lab manually. So, adding in another layer of labs, because that just upgrades the speed in which we progress. Okay, and I think this is a nice starting cluster. You know, it ain't much, but it has the very fundamental basics down. It's okay for me, because when you have all these building blocks available, crafting these machines is quite fast. You know, for example, now crafting a mining machine is just happening because I have all the parts I need. And this way, you can save yourself from a lot of pain without setting up a massive backbone right from the get-go. Which is really not worth it, because the tools I have available right now are puny. I really don't have any larger scale things available. So, what we need next will be the furnaces, because I got access to energetic graphite, like I said. I want to make that happen now. So, let's output some coal into that direction. Yeah, I love the game too, Anthony. I love the game too. I literally didn't dive deeper into it, because the good old reason, it wasn't done enough for me yet. But now with things ahead, I want to finish now my first Dyson sphere for real, because I want to have learned the game good enough to have some good fun with the combat system when it's down, you know? I really, really want to. I'm finally really motivated to finish the game. For me, it's really often a problem to find a proper motivation to finish a game, you know? I like to have the feeling that there's still something to discover when I come back next. Don't know if anybody can relate, but for me, it's a very similar feeling like finishing a book. Finishing a book sometimes makes me very sad, because I'm done with it, and I cannot reread it. With good games, I have a very similar feeling. Once I'm done with them, I'm sometimes kind of sad to let them go. So everybody has his own weird coping mechanisms. That's just how I work. So, energetic graphite. Compared with coal, it's a real powerhouse. We have now an energy of 6.75 megajoule in it. It also comes with a 50% extra efficiency as a fuel chamber material. And if we compare that with coal, this is more than 3 times the amount. So it's amazing. What is a book? Come on, demo boy. I really hope you're going to find some books to enjoy as well, even if it's comics or anything. You know, many people think that they have to read literature to actually enjoy reading, but that's one of the most false assumptions that I know of. So, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to put the crap into the chamber down and the good stuff up, because this thing works this way around. So it'll burn now the stuff that very undesired first. So, next tech. I got what I need here. Solar collection. Solar panels are a massive pain in the butt to craft on your first planet, but they are also the most reliable power production that you can come up with early on. I'm going to go for steel smelting first instead, because that'll open up a couple of other options that I don't have as of yet. Well, Demo Boy, I really don't want to give you the feeling that there's anything wrong about that, but I think there's some reading for everybody of us, you know? There are also very, very awesome graphic novels, and I see gaming also as a reading medium of sorts. Oh no, we don't need that. Or do we? Oh yeah, let's mine some stones. Simply because titanium ore. Just remembered that stones are one of the few early resources for titanium and silicon ore. So you can also put hold down shift and set up a chain command. So hold down left shift and right click all the blocks in a procession that you want to, how you want to pick them up. It ain't much, but I know that later we're going to be licking our fingers for silicon and titanium on this planet. Alright, Ash, see you soon, man. Thanks for crashing. Alright. This machine is supplied quite well. Nice. So, let's keep grinding out some stones. And, well, now it's starting to begin to be more interesting to think about where I want to go in a bigger picture, you know. So I'll pick up some glass and some stone brick. Alright, see you soon, Janet. Thanks for hanging around, man. Have a good one. Alright. So what I do know for sure is that I'm going to need... What? So I have almost no mining machines. Sorters. I know that sorters are something that I always require in rough amounts, so... Oh, not rough amounts. Dirty, rotten amounts. That's better wording. Guten buy. I like Guten buy. So, I see another unfavorable fluctuation in the power grid. So let's change up that as well. Hey, Night Rogue, welcome. Happy to see you. So let's put up some wind turbines. I'm going to go into this direction because it looks boring there. So let's just hold down the left mouse button and do some nice automation things. This is something, these are things I love about this game, you know? It just has so many little quality of life things already going on for itself. So here we do the same thing one more time. I love that. Here we go. So wind turbines really offer only a puny megawatt generation, but I am not really interested in thermal power at this point. I mean, it's dirty cheap to research it, but you know, I'll have to put something in to burn the entire time, and that annoys me. So, foundation. Do I want to research that next? I'm not sure. Better logistics systems. Oh, this can wait for a moment longer. Semiconductors. So, fluid storage encapsulation, plasma extract refining. These things. These things. So, let's queue up things for the first time. So what I'm doing here is basically queuing up everything we need for oil. Because, you know, oil production will be what we're needing for the next color of science to achieve that. Okay, now, is there enough resource in there? Plenty. Okay. Then it's a good time to check on out our map for the first time. So this little cluster here, well, we're going to do what we're doing here for the time being. Consider it our starter base. Now, what I need now is a center where I have all the resources that I need right now clumped together at one point. Because what I want to do now is build up a simple lab and a simple mall. And of course, a simple center of mineral production. So what comes up here is looking quite nice, except for the fact that stone is nowhere to be seen around. That sucks. Would be a great spot otherwise. Then, let's see. Going to go alongside here. Right now I'm checking out what's alongside the equatorial belt, because I made the experience that the equatorial belt is one of the most favorable regions to set your base up. Two reasons. Later we're going to make our solar power production run in a belt around the planet, so it does produce power the entire year, the entire day. What's the goal in this game? Build the fanciest and most powerful Dyson sphere of them all. Seriously, it's all about building a big as possible Dyson sphere. It even has a kind of a scoreboard where you can look up what other people did. So here I see 2 iron deposits. I see 1 copper deposit. I see 1 oil deposit. I see coal. Stone is a bit far away, but well, this is a pretty decent spot to work at. I could make a lot of production happen here, like make this a refining center of sorts. The only thing that sucks is that I'd need to check on out where we get the stone from. So there's 1 deposit here. Is there no better spot to work with? What an unfavorable little planet this is. Dang it. Yeah, well, we're going to take this. This is, so to say, the least of all and the smallest evil to take. Well, at least stone is equally far away from every point there. Hey, Paulo, welcome. How's it going? Awesome. I'm really enjoying myself a lot with the Dyson Sphere program, and we're going to enjoy some Factorio later. And I love Automation Thursday. So I'm slapping in some materials for the science yet again. Like I said, no automated science yet, just semi-automated, but it does work out decently enough. So I got some graphite for the fuel chamber, and this is really where things show off to be different. Okay, so Teslas, because I want to transport that wind power down to the new spot, and mining machines. So now I'm going to go big, you know? We've went down the road small, now we're going big with ratios and all the jazz, you know? Now I'm going to calculate out how to get the most out of the given resources. For that matter, I'm now prefabricating myself arc smelters and mining machines in a larger scale. We're also going to require lots more of sorters, and, well, later I'm going to have machines that pre-produce all that stuff for me. Right now, I don't have that luxury yet, but we're going to get there. Another thing that I'm pretty sure I'm going to require are extra wind turbines, so let's make those as well. I'm pretty sure that they'll come in handy. So, plasma extract refining. We have now access to oil. Oil is the necessary material to produce the red cubes, which is right now not too interesting, but I'm going to research it anyways because I'm going to need it later. So, let's jump on over here, and we're going to place down a couple of wind turbines there. Extra. And then, let's see, I'm going to grab me some more iron plate. And then I think it's about time to consider upgrading the mech a bit, because honestly, I feel not as fast as I could be. So, grab some iron ingots, grab some gears, grab some circuit boards and magnetic coils, because these things, that just makes me so much faster to have these. Also seeing one thing that I don't like so far. Oh, I don't have a storage right now. Just realized that I'd be quite well off with storing some of the gear wheels here as well. There we go. Because the machine has only an internal buffer of a dozen or so items, so you never get larger stockpiles together if you don't buffer them like that. Okay, but that should get us somewhere. Let's grab ourselves some more fuel. And then we're good to go. Also, game has an amazing soundtrack. So, yet again, the decisions that I made in regards of my next production spot are also decisions that I made in as a... this is a starter base, and I know that this is going to be a starter base, so we're going to relocate our operations yet another time in the near future, because I already know that this will be necessary. So, just so you know. What I'm doing here is going to be the foundation for interplanetary transport, because I know already that we are going to have to transport things from one planet to another. I'm going to make sure that I set up the infrastructure for that. This is what this facility is going to be good for. And after that, we're going to set up a new facility which has pretty much other goals, you know. So, let's see, in the tech department, there was one thing that required wood and junk. Mechanical frame, definitely want that. We need 60 electric motors for that. Maybe I'll craft these on some occasion. Inventory capacity, also very, very tasty thing. But here, energy circuit, that's what I wanted. So 60 wood, 60 coal, 60 graphite. A really weird recipe, but we're going to get right into that. Pick up the wood for that. So, most Psycho, welcome. Good morning to you. Good afternoon to me. So, energy matrix tech completed. Let's go and grab the necessary resources we need for the other project. So. Here we go. This is going to give me, if I remember correctly, that's, yeah, more mecha fuel power. This is an interesting number insofar because it will increase the amount of fuel I can generate into my fuel chamber per second. That is a very important thing. If I use a lot of power per second, this gives me the ability to fight back against the energy consumption, if that makes any sense. So, we're going to set up our mining grid here now. So, mining machines, by the way, I'm holding Shift R to rotate them around like that, if you wonder how I'm pulling that off. So, we're going to require... Oh, this is a very, very ungrateful patch. So... Very, very uncool form of this patch, but it's okay. I'm going to slap down one here and slap down the last one here. So this is a pretty inefficient setup, but it's going to be okay. I just realized that I need the tier 2 logistics to pull this off because I don't have splitters yet. This is a really, really big problem. Okay, if that's the case, then let's hop on over to the other deposits and access these first, because I'll be unable to do anything without without splitters. I need to be able to combine these deposits, you know. So, here we go. Make fuel power. And here we'll just draw a supply line over the land. There it goes. Okay. Then I'll need more mining machines here. So let's hope we're going to be able to extract the copper deposit a little bit more easily. Oh, wow. Actually, we do. There's only one node that I didn't manage to tap. Usually, I always run with 3 machines, you know. I'll explain in a minute why. As soon as I have access to the splitters. So, let's fly on over and restock a bit. And also I have the feeling as if my science production has run dry. Yep. That's the problem if you don't run something automatic. I mean, at this point I could also just connect these guys to the labs. But, well... Since I will be doing something like that anytime soon anyways, when I'm going to set up the red science cubes, I don't feel any hustle to do this, you know. Here we go. Let's burn off the stuff that I don't need. And grab a couple of extra resources. So, I'll be needing more mining machines and surely more furnaces. You need really, really a lot of these at the early game. So what did I run out of? Surely iron ingots again. It's most of the time the iron ingots. But now I have access to a lot more other materials. And that's really cool, because this helps me out a lot. probably grab some copper plate as well. There we go. So now I have what I need. Okay. Let's get back to the site. So right now I'm just deploying mining machines left and right. I hope that I'll be able to access all of these patches without the need of foundation. That looks good. So... well, Paulo, the danger factor will come with the combat update that has been announced for 2023 today. There's a big-ass trailer for that, and you really... I really can only say, check it out. It looks amazing. There's going to be a combat system where a rogue AI hive is going to try to stop you from building a Dyson sphere, because it looks like a kind of a resource war. The AI, the rogue AI wants the resources for itself and sees you as a danger when you start tapping into these for your own thing. So, yeah, it's going to be awesome. Awesome. The enemy basically builds factories as well, and you have to set up defense mechanisms against that, and it looks really very, very promising to me. Alright, so we will now check out our mech a bit. So, mechanical frame, I cannot do anything for that. Mech core, that requires yellow cubes. Let's see, steel is something that I can produce already. But here, +1 construction drone, why not? And steel. Well, since I wanted to set up a steel mill anyways, going to be okay. Let's start out with the steel here. Well, I'm really looking forward to what it's going to be. And worst case, if it sucks, you can turn it off. Okay, so what do we have here? We have 3 iron per second, 2 iron per second, 7 iron per second. These belts here can only transport 6 items per second, so they have a very, very limited throughput. We're going to combine these little suckers now, and we're going to do this as follows. So here goes the splitter. And connect. Get out of my face research results. And connect. And connect. So this now combines the throughput of all the 3 mining machines into one splitter. And this, of course, is way more than these belts can pack, you know. We're now trying to ship more ore or these things than they can possibly handle. But that doesn't matter at this point. We're going to upgrade the capacities of this facility anyways, and the other thing is this deposit will deplete. So if ever one of these guys falls off in terms of efficiency, the other guys will jump on in, and therefore it doesn't never ever hurt you for real to oversupply a system. Only undersupplement. The undersupply is a real issue. Okay. So, let's get on over and have some fun smelting. So, we're going to factor out now the ratios. It's pretty easy with iron. So, going to require now... oh, well, we're not going to do it like that. We're going to do this like that. So, let's check it out. So, iron ingots have a very simple ratio. 1 piece of iron gets transformed into 1 piece of iron ingot per second. Since we are transporting 6 pieces of ore per second, we can set up 6 smelters. It's just like that. If ever the belt goes more effective, we can upgrade that as well. So I'm going to set up a belt that runs down this way. I'm pretty sure that the combat in this game won't be letting us down hard. These guys know what they are being compared with. And gotta say, the devs of this game really held up pretty good so far. So what we're going to do now, shift left click and just drag and drop. Oh, I need to make that a little bit longer first, otherwise it won't work. And now shift and just drag and drop. Until we have 6. And the coolest part is now that the entire configuration that we've set up is being copied. And this makes setting up larger scale columns like these really, really comfortable. You love to watch Death World runs? Yeah, I'm down for that as well. So now we have to check out the recipe for steel. It's a little bit more complicated. First off, you cannot handcraft steel. Cool, eh? And here the recipe says we're taking 3 pieces of iron and transforming that into a piece of steel in 3 seconds. The easiest way to calculate that is to break it down. How much does it eat per second? So we divide everything by 3, and that means we're eating 1 iron plate per second. Great. So all we got to do is to just make the same thing one more time, because we have 6 iron plates available. So we just do this another time. And then I guess my power production coughs, wheezes, and dies. Because those smelters are really, really power consuming. Alrighty, so let's do this. We're going to let the belt run downwards, though. Because I already have the, I already know that how I want to ship that stuff. And that's going to go down this road. There we are. And now we just do the same thing. Set this up for steel production. Connect it with sorters. And then just shift left click and set it up until we have it 6 times. Then you can't do it because you're out of sorters. This is a fundamental part of the game, being out of sorters. And then, there we go. So 2, 4, 6, 7. So here it's all still easy pickings. I really hope that I'm going to be able to get through this stage of the game ASAP. Because there's just, these are all preparations for the real deal, you know. Alright, so here's steel production. Awesome, isn't it? You can now just sit here and slurp in the steel pasta. But realistically, it'll be better to just wait until it's produced. Let's hop on over to our other main facility and see what they're up to. So, here I am all okay. I did run out of circuit boards, though. Or so I thought. Yeah, I did run out of circuit boards. And I also ran a bit out of these magnetic coils, so let's do this. Okay, a couple of magnets wouldn't hurt. So, I'm out of magnets. look at that. We're not producing enough magnets for this entire facility. That's okay. It's totally okay. No need to optimize that further at this point. It's just a funny thing to see. That happens if you don't calculate your stuff, you know. So, let's refuel the mech, and then let's check out what would we need next. So I'll be buying myself some more furnaces, of course, and definitely gonna need another handful of new splitters and sorters, and then a couple of sorters more. So we're definitely going to need these furnaces for real. We're out of iron ingots as usual. So let's just see. I got a couple of Tesla towers extra. I do foresee a wild need in power generation as well, so let's work on that too. Traffic monitor, are you kidding me? Why do I get these automatically into my inventory? They aren't that important, they're more like geekware. So, don't want to talk bad about geeks out there. So what I'm doing next is I'm transforming all that stone in my pocket into another material so it compactifies a bit. Okay. So, steel production is already being tackled. This is merely a production of 2 steel bars per second. This ain't much more than that. But at the same time, it's still what we need to get our game going to begin with, you know. I now have steel to craft myself a bit of foundation if necessary. And we have to research foundation first. But you get the idea. This is going to be one of the first materials that we're going to work with in the new found mall. So let's see, where will all these materials go to? I think I'm going to process all that stuff over here, because here is another spot to work with. Pretty good one too. So the direction where the materials will flow is this one. Got it. Very important to make yourself a bit of a picture before you start working, you know. Otherwise, you'll have a bit of a problem to navigate the streams of goods. So here goes the splitter, and we're going to connect it like that. This one like that, and this one like that. So here we have a very similar scenario. Since I'm going to smelt stuff here. Oh yeah, we have now more capacities. Awesome. So, yeah. Let's do our copper smelting here. And we're going to put down the conveyors into this direction. And here we're going to do something fun, hey? Let's just pipe that stuff above the mining site. The freedom of handling elevations in this game is amazing. Like, it does end up pretty complex and pretty confusing if you do too much belt spaghetti, but you can do some really tasty pasta in this game. So, here we go. Let's stay in the vicinity here so our drones don't have to fly too far away. Sadly, you cannot control where your drones are going to work first, so here we have now no ore whatsoever transported. Now it starts. Of course, with more mech upgrades, these things go more efficiently down the road, but well, We gotta achieve more mech upgrades first. Okay, but the first copper plates are already rolling down the line. Perfect. So, let's expand that so far. That, and again, expand it until we got 6 of them. And I love how easy it is in this game to set up smelting columns. Seriously, it's pretty much a breeze. There we go. Done. Next up, iron. So, I happen to have a bit of a space problem here, I gotta say. So... Oh, by the way, copper has the same ratio as iron does have. You know, one piece of copper turns into one copper ingot per second. There's the same math behind it, like it was with iron. I forgot just to say that. I'm sorry. All right, so here we're doing the same things, connecting these guys together. Here, while we're waiting for the drones to work, let's ponder about this nasty thing. So magnets are really nasty, because as you see here, they consume one piece of iron in 1.5 seconds. That means if you divide 1 with 1.5, you get out a number of 0.66. That's pretty, was it 0.66? Do we have a, let me crunch that number one more time. But I think it was 1.66. So 1 divided by 1.5. Yeah, 0.66. So that means when you're crafting magnets, things get complicated. Hey, Christopher, welcome. I love Dyson Sphere program. So when you when you want to craft magnets, things get complicated. So my personal easiest approach is to go for 3 of them, because if you have 0.66. It goes like 0.66, 1.33, roughly 2. So 3 smelters consume roughly 2 pieces of iron ore, and that's going to be how we're working with this. So I really hope that foundation research doesn't take forever to be finished here, so... But, well, I think I can work with this mess here, but let me go to the starter base and see if how the science pack production is set up with resources. It's not set up with resources anymore, so let's change that. There we go. Really important. It's a downside to have manually fed labs at this point, and I'm really feeling the urge to replace that very soon, and we're almost there, so we will get past that phase quite quickly. So let's see if I can do this without the help of foundation support. So we're going to squeeze out the stuff into this direction. And yeah, I think I have a solution here. So I said 3 furnaces for magnets, and if my spacing feeling is not totally off, we can exactly squeeze in 3 of these guys here. So we got that. And I'm going to output these guys. Which direction will the output go? So, can we elevate like that, actually? No, we can't. So, here, I'm just, this is too narrow for the plan. But it ain't much of an issue. We're just going to pipe it out like that. Looks a lot like Factorio? Yeah, it definitely is something you could call a Factorio clone, but the the game works entirely differently, you know. There's a different goal to it. There is a lot of different things to it, but of course, the base idea, automation, is the same. Yeah. So here we go. We got a magnet production going on, and now this pot eats like 2 of the 6 pieces of iron ore that we're producing. Therefore, I'm going to set up a new smelting column here, which will consume the remaining 4 pieces of iron ore which we got. So I'm going to go over here, and here it's going to be the same thing, I thought. Let's see, here I can go. So here you see I'm letting a belt run right above it's the other belt there, so, or at least I'm trying to. Here. So here it shows quite nicely how the iron will roll directly over the belt of the copper. These things, I love what you can do in this game. Look at it. And you can layer that as many times as you want to. It just is a more and more growing pain for you to set these up. But technically, you can layer this up like a lasagna. It's great. So, iron ingots. Shift left click. And we're setting up 4 of these, like I said, because that's going to consume the remaining iron of this grid. So the cool part about this entire setup is now that I can just add in more iron just by upgrading the belts. So we could be slapping up more furnaces into this direction or into that direction, so the system is expandable. I really pay a lot of attention to the fact of keeping my system somewhat expandable, because you never know when you want to bump up those numbers, and it's really always a great thing when you realize that you left yourself some space to grow. Otherwise, you know, there's always a solution, don't get me wrong, but it's great when you leave up room for growth. Just my personal experience with the game. So we got now iron plates, copper plates, magnets, steel plates. So majority of the materials that we require is already set up and running, which is great. So now I'm going to make myself foundation. You see, all those stone bricks that we got will be transformed into foundation. Foundation is basically, simply said, the ability to transform water into usable land. There's not much more about it. You got foundation. It's basically, if you are a Factorio player, you would call it landfill. So, good-o. That's a great start so far. The next thing we're going to do is I'm going to head on over to my other base one more time. And now we're going to see what we're doing next. I know that's not very specific. So crystal smelting would open up the ability to create diamonds. Not too interesting right now. Solar collection is one big step forward as well. I think I'm going to go for this. So solar panels are the next step in terms of power production, at least if you ask me. I'm a big fan of these. I'm going to research thermal power here as well, because, you know, we need. And I'm going to stop teching further there. So, mechanical frame, I want to make these electrical motors happen. They are really easy to craft. You know, I got all the materials necessary for that, so I'll just craft that in my pocket. And then I'll have that tech down as well. Okay, so what do we require here from this little mini base? Bit of these guys is totally needed, and beyond that, I am out of iron plates yet again. But the cool part now is that I can grab all the materials that I require from the other facility. You know, I'm now producing everything necessary over there on the other side. So that's That's progress. So let's dump some materials for further production over there. And wait a sec, I have enough fuel to work with. Awesome. Okay, let's work further on the infrastructure here. This is, of course, the most annoying part, in my humble opinion at least, because, you know, we now have to build belts. Long belts. And that's not necessarily the most exciting job to do. The only material we haven't connected into the mall to be yet is stone and glass. But beyond that, I have already access to all the basic materials that we will work with early on now. Which is a great foundation to start with. I mean, my goal for the series is a lot to get there as quick as possible without making it a speedrun. So here, I'm just using the air road way again. I love this so much because you save so much belt this way, you know? It's amazing how much belt you can save this way by just wiring things up and above. They aren't more costly, there's no downside to it, there's just planning effort. I haven't used sky roads enough in my first couple of playthroughs. That's why you hear me praising it so much, you know. And that's also, by the way, a big difference between Dyson Sphere Program and Factorio. You know, Factorio has a completely different logistics minigame, completely different challenges to tackle in that regard, whereas here things work a lot differently. You have other logistical challenges, don't worry. So, here we go up and above this deposit as well. And we can also go up and above this belt here as well. This is great. And we're going to wire it up like that. I just want to have these basic materials a little bit compactified. Alright, we're now able to build solar panels. Solar panels are hard to produce. They need silicon. Silicon is no native material on this planet. You never have silicon on your starting planet as a native material, or I don't think you do. And therefore, you need to synthesize it. You either find it in rocks, where you can smelt down some silicon ore. The other option is to produce silicon ore out of raw stone. And this is a very, 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 very ungrateful process. Because you get a damn bad ratio out of it. But it's still, early on, the only way of producing silicon reliably automatically. There's no other way. So we have to chew through this for now. If we want solar power, that is. And, you know, you definitely want solar power. Everybody wants solar power. Nobody would say no to solar, believe me. That's why we built Dyson spheres. They're all about solar power. Okay, so next thing is going to be quite simple. This is my mall area, so we're going to set up a mining area for the stone here as well. If I ever need copper to manufacture something, there's some here too, which is pretty good. And what amuses me now a tad bit is that I just realized that the stone deposits aren't really that far away from the spot where I want to build anyways. I was really worried that the starting position was crap, or the distance between the stone mining and the mall was quite crappy, but no problem whatsoever. Ren Hoke. Yeah, well, the progression here is a lot about different stages. This is a multi-stage progression system. First, you learn to travel between planets, and then you learn to set up a Dyson sphere. These are roughly the 3 stages. Setting up, learning to travel between the solar systems, planning, and setting up a Dyson sphere. These are roughly the 3 acts that you travel through while playing Dyson Sphere Program, which doesn't come that intuitively. You have to find that out along the way. And Ren, if you have ever any questions, and that goes to the remainder of the audience as well, please ask away, be it either the chat or the comment section. I do what I can to find answers, because I always love to do those explanations for you. So I'm upgrading the drone engine next, so my drones are not going to be so damn small. Slow, not small, slow. And we're also needing to spread our power down to the stone mine. What I'm doing here is I'm going to lay the power quite sassy on top of the over the top of the coal deposit, so the bridge has more functions than one. I think I'm going to do this differently. I think I'm going to pick the power up from here. This is easier. Let's see. Yeah. I think this is, as a matter of fact, the shorter connection there. I mean, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter as long as the grid is connected. So, won't cover that one, will it? No, too bad. Anyways, this game is, the late game of this game is massive. Like, I underestimated the scope of this game several times, so don't worry. A lot of us been there too. So let's slap down some foundation plates. And as you see here, I'm using these to just lift up the terrain a bit. So here we got a production of 4 stone on this, 4 stone on this, and 3.5 stone on that. What I'm going to do here is going to be a little bit different than with the others. Or wait a sec, do I have more than one stone vein available here? Yep. Okay. Yeah, then we're going to do this as follows. So stone is maybe the most complicated basic resource, because there are very different things that you want to do and in the early game. Unlike iron, which is providing iron ingots and magnets, which is already complicated on its own. Copper is very simple early on, it's just one material. Stone has these 3 products. We want stone bricks, we want glass, and of course we want that silicon ore as well. So this is quite a strain. So with glass we have a simple thing. So every 2 seconds, 2 units of stone will be transformed into 1 glass. Again, I want to know what's the per second consumption, because that's always more interesting. So we divide everything by 2. Simply again, 1 stone per second produces half a unit of glass. So that means we can wire up, if we want to, again, 6 furnaces producing glass, 6 furnaces producing stone bricks. Or, and that's what I'm going to do here, I'm going to do half and half. I'm going to make 3 furnaces for the stone bricks and 3 furnaces for the glass, because I know that I won't be needing these materials in such rough amounts that, or sheer amounts, I keep saying rough amounts because this is something we Germans say, and in such sheer amounts, and that's why I'll be splitting that up. Here, let's see. Here's a provider with 4 per second and a provider with 3.5 per second. I want to have this guy. You know what, we're going to make this differently. Let's pack that thing in, and I'm going to do this here like that. So splitter goes down here. And then we're going to connect it in like that. And here we'll be producing 2 materials at once. You could, of course, set up an entirely larger strain of products there as well, but I made the experience that early game, I never used this this many units of stone bricks or glass. So That's why I came up with that one. Because this is going to be merely our starter mall. When we're going to set up ourselves for the spaceport, you know, when we're going to set up interplanetary logistics, I'm going to require completely different things than now. So therefore, we're going to prep up ourselves like that. So let's do this. Connect that guy. Shift left click, copy 3 times. So here I'm dismantling the belt at this point, because we're going to set up a different strain right next to that, where we produce glass. So glass, we already have calculated that requires 3, will require us 3 furnaces as well, and we're just going to wire that alongside here, so the stone products can safely travel together with one another. So shift left click to expand on here as well, and here goes. Only thing it lacks now is access to power. We will provide. Here we go. And that last mining machine here, with a output of 4 units of stone in the first place, is going to make a different job happen. So we're going to make this here. And here, well, we're going to start producing some silicon there. I'm going to show you how bad it is. Not sure if this is enough room in the first place. I'm going to check that out. So I'm out of stone bricks. What a nice coincidence. Now I'm out of iron ingots. What a not so nice coincidence. Let's see how far it is away. Not too far. And my research stopped, so we're out of research materials in the box again. So I'll be setting up a lab pretty soon. That's going to be probably the thing that I do before I set up the mall, because it's about time for automated science. And yeah. So let's check this out. With this recipe, things get really ugly. You transform again 10 units of stone during 10 seconds into 1 piece of silicon ore. Very easily calculatable again. Divide by 10, 1 stone per second. Easy enough. But 1 stone per second is depleted to do 1/10 of a silicon ore per second. So we're going to produce now a whopping amount of 0.4 silicon ore per second, which is really not good. It's not effective, it's not efficient, but it's the best way that you can provide silicon in the early game. That's just that. That's also the reason why I set up such a small facility for that. I'm not dedicating this entire stone deposit for that, out of one simple reason. I do already know that later, when we access our first planet in the solar system, we will find a planet that has silicon ore native to it, which we just need to mine out. Dyson Sphere program does these things a lot, that it gives you a very difficult access to certain materials, and they are always kind of joker deposits that make it ridiculously easy to do the same job again. So, for example, the trademark move of this world is to have oil, and oil is a damn rare resource in the galaxy as well. So now to finish this, you know, the raw silicon ore ain't all. We will need to refine that into high purity silicon. Here, luckily enough, only 1 smelter will be sufficient. But well, let's see, how long does it take until I can research proliferators? Let's check that out, because I'm just considering that. So proliferating is not far away. Okay, so let's do this. Proliferating is a process where you coat a good with a proliferator spray, and simply said, when you when you turn proliferator on something, you can increase the efficiency of that. So we're going to use proliferator for the silicon ore. So we're going to get more silicon out of the silicon ore. I think that's a great thing to use early game proliferating on. Okay, so we got all the basics down. The only thing I don't have so far is automated science, but something always bites you back. I mean, I could easily just wire down some belts now to the lab and just automate it, but nah, not necessary. We're going to build it new very soon anyway. So it doesn't really work well on Steam Deck yet. Oh, that's too bad, man. Steam Deck is awesome. Such a casual little machine. Alright, so drone flight speed has been researched. Let's get on back to proliferator tech. So I need to research semiconductors for that, and then I should be able to do this as well. Alright, so proliferators, it's pretty awesome. Proliferator is being made out of coal, so this is really available for me. The spray coater, the machine that applies the proliferator, requires some more exotic materials, but first of all, we can provide, and second off, it's really easy to do. Alright, awesome. Let's grab ourselves some more belts. And I'm going to see where we are right now. So the next big step that I foresee here is going to be to make the decision where I'm going to science out stuff. I know that I'm opening up a lot of working sites at the same time, but that's okay. That's just what you do in this game. So I have realized that this is a really nice spot. There's iron, there's copper, and there's oil abound. This would be a pretty good spot for my lab. Beyond that, I don't see too many other good candidates. I mean, it is clear that this the amounts on the copper and the iron deposits here are extremely puny, and that means we're going to need supply from somewhere else, but that is really not a problem because supply from somewhere else is exactly what I plan to do here via drone terminals that just transport the goods over there. So yeah, we're taking it. We're taking that. I like this spot. So that means I'm going to require all the stuff once again. Mining machines, smelters, and Tesla towers. It's all the same. I mean, I could just go on and build myself now a mall here, but I don't think that would be that much of a smart idea right now, because I want to automate science next. That's a very important thing. If anything, we could argue that I should have set up the automated science first, but, well, it doesn't kill me either to just do it further the way I did it here, with the manual support and all. So, I got 3 arc smelters. That's unacceptable. I need a dozen. So let's do this. A dozen will be okay, I think. And I need Tesla towers. And I need matrix labs. And as you see here, everything is getting produced now automatically, and that's just making me extremely happy. Okay, so we're hopping on over there. Let's see, need foundation support. I don't have much foundation in my pocket right now. Definitely will make a automated production of the foundation happen as well. By the way, that's one weird thing. Power distribution does not work with holding down the left mouse button and just walking, sadly. I mean, if there's any trick to connect the Teslas like you do with all the other things, I haven't found it yet. So, let's see. Do I have some foundation here in my pocket? Can I create some foundation here? Yes, I can. Both things, actually. Alright. So we're going to make it quite easy. We're going to make some islands here in the ocean. There we go. And this way I can spread the power. Semiconductor research. Perfect. I mean, these researches here, they mostly matter once I want to do the solar panel production, which will be pretty soon as well, so don't get me wrong there. Alright, so I'm going to make the lab happen here. I like this place. I like it a lot. So, oh god, look at that coal vein. So, here's the iron that I want to exploit. Oopsie. Of course, we require power connection. Totally forgot about that. So, set up another little island here. And while this is really not much iron and copper, I am very positive that it will be just enough to kickstart my science so that we can exploit these little patches in the first place. And once we run out of materials, I'll let the drone transport kick in. If that doesn't work out, we're going to have to set up something with belt support, but that would be also not the worst, you know? There's nothing really fundamental wrong about supplying your factories with belts, you know? So here we go. We are now going to require a more specified amount of things. So I'm going to fly on over here as well. Ooh, there's one problem probably. Well, maybe not. We can solve that. All right. First things first. Let's set up the labs so I can explain it better. So the labs are going to be the centerpiece of this little facility. So we're going to set it up here. That's going to be where I produce the blue cubes. And this is going to be where I produce the... well, no, we're not going to produce the blue cubes that close. We're going to produce them somewhere around here. There's no necessity that the blue cube production and the other stuff is that close to each other. So here we now check it out. So easy. We can produce a third of a blue cube in a second because, you know, usual ratios apply. That means we need a third of a electromagnetic coil per second and a third of a circuit board per second to make one of these guys work. That's why I stack up 3 of them, because that makes it quite simple. We just require a production of 1 coil per second, 1 board per second, and we got the blue cubes done. So, for that regard, let's build ourselves some assemblers. And let's slap them down and check out the recipes. Or, wait a sec, I don't need to. I can't do that in my inventory. So, magnetic coils, we produce in 1 second 2 of these guys, which is a pretty solid thing. And we require a production of 1 copper plate per second. So we could technically even supply 2 of these blue cube towers at once. Alright, so let's see how that'll work out. We also will require these guys. So here in a total, we'll require then 2 copper plates per second to make it work. Since I have now a little bit of a problem here, I have only 3 copper veins, and every vein only supplies 0.5 ore per second. It is a tad bit of an issue that we are facing here, but I can fix that. So first off, foundation support. Otherwise, we can't put down mining machines. So we put down one mining machine here, and we're just going to put down another mining machine again. You know, covering the same veins another time. This is not a problem. It will just deplete the deposit quite quickly, because they now chow on the same deposit, so to say. But it doesn't matter. It does provide 3 copper plates per second, you know, and that's what matters to me. What are my drones busy with? Oh dear. So that's one thing I usually try to avoid. All right. So next up, we now know that we need 2 magnets per second, and we're going to need 2 copper per second, and we're going to need 2 iron per second, and not more. So we can set up a pretty compact thing here. Also, we now know that with the magnets, 3 of these guys are producing, what was it again? Yeah, it's 0.66 per smelter, and 3 of them produce 2 per second, so that's exactly the amount we need. And I'm going to go for this, and as a matter of fact, I just realized we need to double the amount of labs. Which is great. Ah, well, you know, just eat that. So, I'll be doing these, blue science automation, but I think I'm going to lock off afterwards, because it's about time to prepare for the next stream, and this one is already pretty long, but I'm having just so much fun, it's hard for me to stop, you guys surely understand. So, need the next pair of sorters, otherwise we cannot produce. Alright, so shift left click. And here go these. Provided with power. So, next step, we're going to set up 4 more of these guys, because that's going to be the iron plate production. So, recipes, of course, wrong. There we go. And now I can resupply my materials if necessary here as well, which is always something I do appreciate, if it's possible. There we go. And now we're just going to go... Let's see, which one of these requires actually iron plate and magnet? I did forget. None of them. They both require copper plate to work. Yeah, okay. So, let's see. We're going to go upstairs all the way here. Let's see. Yeah. This is now one of these nasty lung projects that can seriously drain out your batteries a lot. But luckily I got some energetic graphite left. Good-o! My personal experience was it's always worth to just walk along with your dudes. So... Alright, catch you later, Nightroke. This stream won't be that much longer as well. Like I said, I just want to finish that little thing here. We're almost done with the blue cube production, and then we're going to set up the next one. Good progress for the first 2 hours, I'd say. The next run, we're going to be able to set up what we need for the mall. And the red cube production, which is going to be also very, very important. Yeah. I know. My energy is going low. This is because hovering over the water and supplying my drones at the same time is a little bit stressful for my energy supplies. Why? So here we go. Connect that copper deposit. And here we're going to require only 4 smelters again. So, no, they require foundation support on this side, so no. So, let's recheck the quotas. I need 1 copper plate per second here and 1 copper plate per second here. So we need only 2 copper plates per second. So I'm going to actually make it as minimalistic as possible at this point, because we're always able to notch up the numbers again if necessary. But at the very moment right now, I am pretty low on everything, you know? It pays off to be stingy with my low resources early on, and therefore we'll just do like this. And now we copy this one time. And my energy's running a little bit low the entire time here. And speaking about energy, we also happen to need to wire up power over here. I somehow feel like I don't have enough Tesla towers for that job. We'll see about that. So let's see, yeah. And well, I ain't got enough iron plates to craft more Teslas. That's the least of my problems. This is one of the parts I love a lot about this game, that once you are setting up your base camp good enough, you run into more and more options to solve issues, you know. So, here we go. Copper plate rolls down this road. Then let's do this like that. And let's do this like that. Only semi-happy with that solution here, but it'll do for now. Luckily, the setup of the blue cubes is always the easiest part of the entire scheme, so I don't need to break my head too much about that. So here we go. Here, 1 for the circuit boards, 1 for the electromagnetic coils. So, this does require a input of 2 magnets per second. Let's see, do I have already the more powerful sorters? Yes, I do. Wonderful. So, since we need to pull 2 magnets per second, I'm going to require the more powerful sorters. Luckily, we got these already. And 1 regular sorter. At this end, it's the same, just vice versa. We require 2 iron plates, so we require the stronger sorter again. Luckily, you can use your sorters to stretch over 3 pieces of grid, so they can really go far. And here we go. So now we're slapping up this like that here. And this like that. No. More like this. So, this way it's expandable. Always keep in mind that you probably want to expand on your setups, you know? So, what we didn't set up here is an output. So here we go. Ah, you know what? We're going to make the stronger one, the stronger version of these. Let's see. Okay. And we're that close to introducing real automation into our factory in terms of science output, you know. Alright, here goes the blue cube production, and we're going to output them this way. So let's see, do I have any power poles left? No, I don't. We're working on a very, very tight schedule here, as you see. Material is in a constant shortage. But it is a pretty good piece of progress so far. Quite happy. So next stream we're going to be able to get ourselves going with the mall. So I'm able to set up a automated production of lots of more sophisticated goods, which is going to get us ahead even more. So here we go. Science does not need is now no longer hand-fed by me, and that's a great spot to end today's stream at. I thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the intro to this new series as much as I did. We're going to continue that next time. A comment down below, a thumbs up, or a subscription to the channel would be widely appreciated. And if you missed the stream and you want to catch the next one live, first off, Thursday is my day for automation games, but you can also check out my Discord or my Twitter where I announce all those streams before they happen. Or you do the subscription thing, turn on the bell, and then you get notified as well. Last thing that I want to mention, there's a Patreon link and a PayPal link in the description box below. As a free content creator, I can use all the help that I can get because my content will never be locked behind any paywalls, and I'd be super happy if you guys could give me a helping hand. So, since it's still Automation Thursday, there's going to be a Factorio stream incoming, Space Exploration and Crastorio it is, and I'm going to build myself a spaceport, because on that save file, I'm much further in than on this one. So, catch you guys later, have a good one.